Well, good morning. So last week I introduced the book, John Gottman's book, The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work. And at the start of the book, he suggests there's 6 indicators that would indicate that a marriage is not working or could lead to divorce. And those 6 indicators were a harsh startup to a discussion. If you start out in a harsh way, and then the second is what he calls the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Number 3, flooding, overwhelming your partner with negativity. A person's body language, which they can check in the lab they use. Number 5, failed repair attempts, when one partner attempts to de-escalate and it doesn't work. And the last one, bad memories. And as he says, when history gets rewritten, it often is rewritten for the worst. So those are indicators of a marriage that will work. But more importantly for Gottman, and certainly for me, is what are the indicators that a marriage will work? And that it'll not only survive, but it will thrive. So those are the 7 principles. So I'm going to, over the next few weeks, take each one of those principles each week. And the first one is enhance your love maps. Enhance your love maps. Remember, his earlier statement was that a successful relationship is one based on friendship. And he defines that as the mutual respect for and enjoyment of each other's companies. So he defines a love map as being intimately familiar with your partner's world. Obviously, if you don't know your partner very well, hard to love them. And his point being is that when life hands you stuff, which it will, the more you know and understand about your partner, the easier it is to get through the challenges that life will give you. For example, having a baby. That's a big one for most couples. Or a change of job, aging parents, illness, moving to a new home or new city or a new country even, or just the passage of time. But you get the idea that the better you know and understand your partner, the easier it is to work through those life transitions. So in the chapter, pardon me, in the chapter he starts out by getting a sense of the quality of one's current life map, or love map, love map. So he lists 20 statements and has partners indicate whether they're true or false. And for example, I can tell you some of my partner's life dreams. Well, if you can answer that truly, you have a good sense of what your partner's about. And so he would say 10 or more correct answers means you have a pretty good love map. Less than 10, there's probably things you can learn about your partner. And so then he goes on to outline sort of 3 exercises that are geared toward enhancing one's love map, the knowledge and understanding of one's partner. So exercise 1 is he calls it the love map 20 questions game. And what he has people do is randomly choose numbers between 1 and 60. All right? So 20 numbers between 1 and 60. And then match up those numbers to the questions, the 60 questions. So for example, one of my favorite numbers is 4. So the matching question is, name one of your partner's hobbies. Well, that's an easy one for me. But some of them aren't quite as easy as that. And there is a scoring mechanism at the end of the game to see who knows each other better. But the challenge is not to win, but it's sort of a fun way, pardon me, to get to know your partner better. So that's the first exercise. Exercise number 2 is, he says, asking open-ended questions. And an open-ended question is one that can't be answered with yes or no. So again, using number 4, how do you think your life would be different if you lived 100 years ago? Well, it could be interesting. Now for me, I did live 100 years ago almost, so I can answer that one. Anyway, exercise 3, a little bit heavier sledding here. The question is, who am I? And the challenge here is to answer the questions, there's 5 different categories, as candidly as possible, and then share with your partner. And this is heavier going, but you certainly would get to know your partner better. So the first area is my triumphs and striving. So again, using question number 4, the question is, and you would answer this and then share with your partner, did your parents show that they loved you? How? Was affection readily expressed in your family? And if not, what are the effects and implications of this for your marriage? So the second category is injuries and healing. What difficult events or periods have you gone through? And then question 4, how did you gird yourself and protect yourself against this ever happening again? Third area, my emotional world. And question 4 was, what differences exist between you and your spouse in the area of expressing emotion? What is behind these differences? What are the implications of these differences for you? The fourth area, my mission and legacy. What legacy would you like to leave when you die? And finally, who I want to become. And again, question number 4, what demons in yourself have you had to fight or still have to fight? So that's obviously a little heavier sledding there, but you certainly would get a better picture of your partner, and they would get a picture of you if you answer those questions. And he ends the chapter saying, for all of their power, love maps are only a first step. Happily married couples don't just know each other, they build on and embrace this knowledge in many important ways. For starters, they use their love maps to express not only their understanding of each other, but their fondness and admiration as well. And that's going to be his second principle. So next week, I'll take a look at principle number 2, nurture your fondness and admiration. Okay? Anyway, have a great week. See you next week.